Alright, starting on a new project. The backyard. Got some new furniture. Well, it doesn't look new, but it's brand spanking new. Had some heavy rains and winds, and tree dumped a bunch of stuff on it. But anyway, give you a quick tour of where we're at. I did some stuff off camera here. It's the side yard. So what I did, you can see there's this drain spout sticking up here. Got this weird thing that they did here, and I know why, because if you look down here, there's a bunch of cracks up against the foundation in the footing concrete here, or in the sidewalk concrete. You can see they've done some little repairs here and there over the years. There's definitely some serious water damage downstairs in the room that's next to this, and that'll be a project for the fall or winter. Look for that one coming. But anyway, I dug all this up, put in some plants, tore a bunch of concrete along here. There was concrete all in here and in here, and we got another downspout here next to the catio. We're going to upgrade this catio at some point. But yeah, got a little downspout here, runs down all along down here. And then also coming from the front yard, we got the sprinkler line, so there's a low voltage wire for some lights. We'll extend that. Got the pipe coming up here. We'll extend that all the way back out to the alley, as well as this 1/2-inch sprinkler line. Put in some drip system. So, as far as the patio is concerned, the first step is going to be putting in a pergola. Pergola is going to be put as a header up against the garage, and then put the posts, one there. You can see I already cut through this concrete and dug the hole. We're about to pour the footers for the posts. And this concrete here I was going to tear up, but I just think I'm going to leave it for now until we get to that later. Got a bunch of flagstone off of next door, some big pieces. The bottom part of that was dug up from the existing yard. The top part was from a friendly neighbor. All of this cinder block here was stuff that I've been collecting from around the yard. And got these from up in the mountains. Oh, I'm sorry. We got a family of chickadees living here, and they don't like me working back here. But they got some babies in the house right there. We'll wait till they fledge before we do any serious work. But really quick, I got another hole dug here for the other post. We're going to put flagstone all around this dirt, and eventually, when I get a chance to dig up this concrete, I'll extend the flagstone. That's it for now. Let's get these footings poured. Listen to the babies. Alright, James got our concrete mixed up here. Got 2 bags. Alright, that worked out pretty well. We got concrete filled in the hole, and because I'm going to be taking out this surrounding concrete at some point this summer, hopefully, I didn't want the new concrete to cause any trouble or have any trouble with the new concrete. I made a line. We're going to put these guys in. Now there's lots of different bases you can buy for this. These were one of the more inexpensive, but looked to be the most longer lasting. And we're going to do some different joinery with the wood and some decorative elements that are going to completely hide this. So I figured this is utilitarian. You won't even see it, but it's going to last a long time. So let's mush this guy in. Alright, there we have it. Got everything all squared off, measured out. Got this guy in. James is playing with some extra concrete. All sorts of fun. We'll let these guys cure for a day or two, and we gotta go get some lumber. We'll get things started. Alright, we're getting going on the header here. It's gonna go up centered on the garage right up there. If you look at this siding, it's pretty skinny. It's got about a 5/8 inch gap under here. For waterproof reasons and weatherproofing and shielding, am going to put the header over the siding. I'm not going to cut out the siding. What that means is I've got the high points of the siding marked in chalk line on the board. I am going to attempt to kind of cut these down to match the profile of the siding. Alright, here's where things are going to get tough. That's the profile I need to cut to go over the molding. I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty bright here. I have a power planer, however the edges wouldn't go over that. I have a table saw with a dado set. This is a 16-foot long board. I'm not going to mess around with that. I have a hammer and chisel. That would take a long time. I think what I'm going to do is just start cutting with the circular saw and hammer it out. Well, that was fun, let me tell you. But let's start chiseling, see if it was worth it. Alright, new plan. I started chiseling, and as you can see, things just started not coming out right. This treated lumber, it was still a little wet. It's dried off quite a bit, but things are kind of stripping out along the grain rather than chiseling out nicely. So this is going to be a pain, but I threw on a little angled board on my router. I'm sure I could have done a better job with a full-on jig, but this will get the job done for this one project. You can see, maybe you can't, it's right about the right angle. That's as deep as my router will go. Pull the bit out just a little bit, but go along here, raise the bit, go along here, raise the bit, go along here, 4 or 5 per line. It's going to be fun. Alright, after about 5 passes with the router and 1 with the power plane, we got 1 done. Wasn't easy, but it looks good. It's gonna work, and we're gonna figure something else out for this one. I think I'm gonna use the circular saw, and this one, because this was a pain. Most heinous. Well, that definitely was most heinous. That was painful. But there it is. You can see. I think you can see. Profiles are cut for the edging. You can see for some reason my router bit kept dropping. Don't know why, but that won't affect anything. It's all cut in. Now we're going to flip her over and do the joist hangers. Alright, flip the board over, made a little jig for the router. We're going to route out the slots for the 2x10s. Well, messed up twice there. I had forgotten I measured from the outer base of the router to the center of the bit instead of the edge of the bit. Also, I didn't make these tall enough, so we'll fill this one in when we put the 2x10 in there, but we'll fix this jig for the rest of them. There you have it. Finally, got the header complete. Alright, here's where we're at. we need to build the outside header, which is going to be 20 feet. It's going to be made up of 2x12s glued together. So we're going to cut these to length. I'm still trying to decide what sort of joint I want to use where they butt. However, we'll cut them a little bit long, and then I need to plane them down just a little bit so we get through kind of the treated layer and give something for the tight bond to stick to. We're going to glue them together and screw them. Alright, here's what we're going to do. I cut each of these an inch long. This is one of the 10-foot sections. We got 3 more boards. We're going to cut one of these in half. We leave an inch long, and we are going to just do a simple half lap with 2 inches. Alright, got all the laps cut together pretty nice. Next step is to put one side of each of these through the planer so the glue will stick a little better. Well, the time lapse died, but you get the idea. That is how I make a 2x12 by 20, or wait, 4x12 by 20, right? So we'll let that glue dry, and I think what I'm going to do is put some, I can't even see the screen, it's so bright out, put some pins, some doweling in where the joints are, just to make them extra tight. We'll use some good strong glue for that, and it'll look nice. I think there's plenty of screws in there now. Once that's done, we'll take it and we will power plane both top and bottom. I'll probably cut some notches in it and do some of the decorative stuff before, just so I'm not doing that up on a ladder. Anyway, yay. Alright, getting ready to put our header up. I had to find the first 2x4 position, which is there. And then for some reason I thought the studs were 24 inches on center in this garage, which they are not. They're 16. So went down, drilled a hole every 16 inches just to make absolutely sure I was hitting the 2x4. And you can see my measurements got a little skewed over time. So what we're going to do now is transfer all these measurements down to the header here and drill our holes for the lag screws. And we're going to put a bunch of silicone on the top and sides of this board, of course leaving underneath to drain. And while I'm at it, I'll put some silicone in the holes I made, as well as in the post holes and kind of under the post hole. I didn't like this sitting in the concrete. Just didn't seem right to me, so I'm going to squeeze a bunch of silicone under this and in this hole so these don't rust away, and should be good. Here we go. Alright, fast forward about a week. We got all the boards cut and notched, and here's the big beast. And what I'm doing now is attaching the posts that are going to go into the base. And oh yeah, header. You've seen that though. See, what do we got? So I'm using these plates on either side. So go here. Just getting everything in place right now. Putting some galvanized in there. Got some galvanized carriage bolts. Going to put one up here, one through the board, and then of course one down below. Put some screws, some nails, some glue, and got these 1/2-inch metal pieces. So I'm going to screw a hole in here to center this and screw a hole in here. So it'll all be centered, it'll all be held together snugly. And once we get this up and everything's hanging on it, I'm going to get some 2x6s and sandwich each side between the 2x6s. Those are going to run all the way up to the top. So plenty of rigidity. Well, I tried to do it myself, and I would have made it if someone hadn't have gone and told Mommy that I was trying to do it myself.
It was him.
Hey,
it was.
So, this is going to have to wait till tomorrow when we can get some other folks over. Well, wife had to go to her monthly drinking club or book group, and some folks were busy that I had hoped might be able to come and help me, so I'm just an impatient person. And since my little tattletale here has no one to tattle to, we got some come-alongs, we got some stuff driven in the ground, and look at that, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So yeah, before I crank this up anymore, I'm going to put a rope on the other side so it doesn't fall back this way. And I don't know, it's kind of looking nasty up there. I don't really want to get up on a ladder right now, so you know, we might wait for the stringers tomorrow. But hey, that's how the pyramids were built. One dude got bored, right?
Yeah.
He was like, hey, I'm going to build a sandcastle.
Okay.
And so he got some sand and he built the sandcastle. He said, hey, this isn't big enough. I better make it with some rocks. So he started dragging rocks out from everywhere. That's how they were built, right?
Maybe he'll need big rocks.
Or was it aliens?
I think they just made it up.
The pyramids are made up?
No.
Just like the earth is flat?
It's not flat, Daddy.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Alright, got the ends cut, got the boards thrown up there. Now we just gotta nail them in. I was gonna wait till this was done and just show the finished pieces up there, but thought it might be a little entertaining to do a time lapse, because I have to move this ladder like 50 times just to put one length up. So enjoy. Alright, they're up. And it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. I'm digging it. Alright, next up we're going to take these 2x6s, cut them down to size, and we are going to sandwich the posts. Stay tuned. Don't have a wood steamer? Have no fear. Come-alongs are good for that too. Check it out. We're bending wood. These are going to be the braces that go at the top corners. You can see I made a little template there. I'm going to put some dowels in there later, but I wanted to get these boards at least started on being bent. I got some bent slats, cut them in half, planed them down, and actually I stuck them in that tower of cinder blocks all day in the sun, and just kept spraying them with water every once in a while. So they bent pretty easily, or they are bending pretty easily, but that's about all we're going to get out of here for now, right, Bub?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here we are. Got one coat of stain on it. A little too red for my taste, so for coat number 2, we're going to put on a little bit of a browner coat, see how that blends in. Hopefully it works out okay. I think it should. Also for coat 2, we got our support structures in here in the jig, and these are turning out really nice. I got the other 3 and run them through a planer, make them nice and even, and cut them up in the miter saw. It's looking a little nasty out, so this may be a tomorrow project, but that's where we're at. Alright, got the bracing in. That looks kind of snazzy, don't you think? Yeah. So now, the only thing left is to paint. And there you have it. Pergola is up.